The Bridge Builder. Part 1. The Storm. The rain hammered against Marcus Webb's windshield like 1,000 angry fists. He squinted through the darkness, his hands gripping the wheel so tightly his knuckles had turned white. The GPS had died miles ago, and now he was lost somewhere in the backroads of rural Kentucky, miles from anywhere he recognized. Perfect, he muttered bitterly. Just perfect. At 43, Marcus had built an empire. Webb Technologies had made him a millionaire by 30, a multimillionaire by 35. But success had come at a cost. His marriage had crumbled 3 years ago. His daughter hadn't spoken to him in 6 months. And tonight, driving back from yet another business deal, he felt hollower than ever. The storm intensified. Through the sheets of rain, Marcus spotted something. A bridge, old and wooden, spanning a swollen river. He had no choice but to cross it. As his tires hit the wooden planks, he felt the structure groan beneath him. Halfway across, a lightning bolt illuminated the scene ahead, and Marcus's blood turned to ice. The bridge ended abruptly. The other half had been washed away. He slammed the brakes, but the wet wood offered no grip. The car spun, crashed through the rickety railing, and plunged toward the raging waters below. Part 2. The Rescue. Marcus came to with water filling the car. His head throbbed, and warm blood trickled down his temple. The vehicle was sinking fast, the current pulling it downstream. He tried the door, jammed. The window, the electric system was dead. Panic seized him. "Help!" he screamed, pounding on the glass. "Someone help me!" The water reached his chest, then his neck. This is it, he thought. This is how it ends. In that moment, every deal he'd closed, every dollar he'd earned, every trophy on his wall, none of it mattered. He was going to die alone, and he realized he'd been living alone for years. Suddenly, a figure appeared outside the window. Through the murky water, Marcus saw a face, a young man, maybe 30, with determination in his eyes. The stranger smashed the window with something metal, and glass exploded inward. Water rushed in faster, but hands reached through, grabbing Marcus's collar, pulling him out. They broke the surface together, gasping. The stranger dragged Marcus to the riverbank, laid him on the muddy shore, and began CPR. Marcus coughed up water, his lungs burning as they filled with air again. "You're okay," the young man said, his voice steady and calm. "You're going to be okay." Marcus looked up at his rescuer, soaking wet, bleeding from cuts on his hands and arms from the broken glass. You saved my life," Marcus wheezed. "Who are you?" "My name's Daniel," the man said with a gentle smile. "Daniel Rivera. Come on, let's get you somewhere warm." Part 3. The Lighthouse. Daniel helped Marcus to a small house perched on a hill overlooking the river, an old lighthouse keeper's cottage. Inside, a fire crackled in the stone fireplace. Daniel wrapped Marcus in blankets and handed him hot coffee. "You live here alone?" Marcus asked, his teeth still chattering. "Most of the time," Daniel replied, tending to his own cuts. "I'm a volunteer with the local search and rescue. I heard the crash from up here and saw your car go in." He paused, meeting Marcus's eyes. "God put me in the right place tonight." Marcus shifted uncomfortably. "I don't believe in God." Daniel didn't seem offended. "What do you believe in?" "Myself. Hard work. What I can see and touch and build with my own hands." Marcus gestured at nothing in particular. "I made myself successful. No divine intervention required." "And are you happy?" Daniel asked quietly. The question hit Marcus like a punch. He opened his mouth to say yes, but the word wouldn't come. Instead, to his own horror, he felt tears welling in his eyes. "I have everything," he whispered. Money, houses, cars, a successful company. But my daughter won't talk to me. My ex-wife despises me. I can't remember the last time I felt anything. Daniel sat down across from him. I used to be like you, he said. Different circumstances, same emptiness. Part 4. Daniel's story. 5 years ago, Daniel began, staring into the fire. I was a corporate lawyer in Chicago. Corner office, 6-figure salary. Engaged to a beautiful woman. I thought I had it all figured out. He laughed bitterly. Then I got diagnosed with leukemia. Stage 3. Marcus leaned forward, listening intently. Suddenly, all my plans meant nothing, Daniel continued. My fiancée left, said she couldn't handle it. My firm pushed me out. I went through months of chemo, lost everything. One night, lying in a hospital bed completely alone, I asked the universe a question. Is this all there is? We struggle, we suffer, and then we die. What happened? Marcus asked. A hospital chaplain came by. An old man named Father Tom. He didn't preach at me or tell me I was being punished. He just sat with me. After a few visits, he said something I'll never forget. Daniel, you've spent your whole life building bridges to success, but you've never built a bridge to your own soul. And you've never let anyone build a bridge to you. Daniel poured more coffee. That night, I prayed for the first time in 20 years. I didn't ask for healing or a miracle. I just said, God, if you're real, show me what my life is supposed to mean. And he did, Marcus. Not with lightning or angels, but with peace. For the first time since my diagnosis, I felt peace. But the cancer, Marcus started, went into remission 3 months later, Daniel finished. My doctors called it remarkable. I called it grace. When I recovered, I knew I couldn't go back to my old life. So I came here, trained as an EMT, and started volunteering. I help people now. That's what gives my life meaning. Marcus was silent for a long moment. I wish I could believe like you do, but I've spent my whole life trusting only what I can prove. Daniel smiled. You were drowning in that car tonight, Marcus. Could you save yourself? No. But you're alive. Sometimes faith begins when we realize we can't do it alone. Part 5. The letter. The storm had passed by morning. Marcus's phone, miraculously, still worked once it dried out. He had 17 missed calls from his assistant and 3 from his ex-wife, Sarah. Before he could overthink it, he called Sarah back. Marcus. Her voice was sharp with worry. Where have you been? I've been trying to reach you all night. I had an accident. I'm okay. What's wrong? There was a pause. It's Emma. She's in the hospital. She tried to. Sarah's voice broke. She tried to hurt herself, Marcus. Suicide attempt. The world tilted. What? When? Yesterday. She left a note. She said she felt invisible, like nobody cared whether she lived or died. Marcus, she mentioned you. She said she didn't think you'd even notice if she was gone. The phone nearly slipped from Marcus's hand. His daughter, his beautiful, brilliant daughter, had tried to end her life, and she thought he wouldn't care. What hospital? He managed to ask. After getting the details, Marcus turned to Daniel with desperation in his eyes. I have to get to Cincinnati. No. My daughter. I'll drive you, Daniel said immediately. Let's go. During the 3-hour drive, Marcus was silent, drowning in guilt. Daniel didn't try to fill the silence with platitudes. He just drove, occasionally glancing over with compassion in his eyes. Finally, Marcus spoke. I've been so focused on building my business that I forgot to build a relationship with my own daughter. What kind of father does that make me? The kind who can change, Daniel said gently. It's not too late, Marcus. It's never too late. Part 6. The hospital room. Emma was asleep when Marcus entered her hospital room. She looked so small in that bed, so fragile. Bandages wrapped her wrists. The sight of them broke something in Marcus's chest. He sat beside her and took her hand carefully. "Emma," he whispered. "I'm here. Daddy's here." Her eyes fluttered open. When she saw him, confusion crossed her face, then something harder. "What are you doing here?" "Your mom called me." "Emma, He struggled to find words. "I'm so sorry. I'm sorry I haven't been the father you needed. I'm sorry I made you feel invisible. I'm sorry I chose work over you, over everything that actually matters." "You're always sorry," Emma said, her voice flat. "But nothing ever changes. You'll leave this hospital, go back to your meetings and deals, and I'll disappear again." "No," Marcus said firmly. "Not this time. Emma, last night I almost died. A man I'd never met risked his life to pull me from a river. And you know what I realized when I thought I was dying? All my success means nothing without people to share it with. Without you." Tears began sliding down Emma's cheeks. "I just wanted you to see me, Dad. To choose me just once." Marcus pulled her into his arms, both of them crying now. "I see you, baby. I see you, and I'm choosing you. From now on, I'm choosing you. And I'm going to prove it every single day." For the first time in years, Emma hugged him back. Part 7. The Choice. 2 weeks later, Marcus called an emergency board meeting at Webb Technologies. His executives filled the conference room, confused about the sudden summons. "I'm stepping down as CEO," Marcus announced. The room erupted in shocked murmurs. "I'll remain on the board," Marcus continued. "But I'm appointing Jennifer Chen as my replacement, effective immediately. I'll be taking an extended leave to focus on my family." His CFO stood up. "Marcus, you can't be serious. You built this company from nothing. It's your whole life." "That's the problem," Marcus said quietly. "It was my whole life. And I almost lost what actually matters because of it." He looked around the table. "I'm not saying business is bad or that success is wrong. I'm saying that I let it become my God. And serving that God nearly destroyed me and the people I love." After the meeting, Marcus drove to the lighthouse cottage. He found Daniel outside, repairing the fence. "I wanted to thank you again," Marcus said, "and to tell you that you were right. I spent my whole life building bridges to success, but I never built a bridge to my own soul." Daniel smiled. "And now I'm learning. It's not easy. I'm seeing a therapist with Emma. We're going to church together. Sarah suggested it, actually. We're not back together, but we're talking again, really talking. And I'm reading." He pulled a worn Bible from his jacket. "Trying to understand what you found in that hospital room. What do you think so far?" Daniel asked. Marcus chose his words carefully. "I think I spent 43 years believing I was the architect of my own life. But maybe the real architect has been trying to get my attention all along. And I was too proud to listen. That storm, that crash, you being there exactly when I needed you. That's too many coincidences." "God doesn't always speak in thunder," Daniel said. "Sometimes he speaks through storms that strip away everything we thought was important so we can finally see what is." Part 8. The Bridge. 6 months later, Marcus stood at a groundbreaking ceremony. But this wasn't for a new Webb Technologies office. It was for the Emma Webb Community Center, a place for struggling teens to get counseling, tutoring, and support. Emma stood beside him, stronger now, healthy. She'd been out of the hospital for 5 months and was working with her therapist regularly. More importantly, she was working with her father to design the center's programs. "Thank you all for coming," Marcus said to the gathered crowd. "6 months ago, I learned a hard lesson. I learned that you can build an empire but still be bankrupt in the ways that matter. I learned that success without purpose is just decorated emptiness. And I learned that sometimes God has to break us down completely to rebuild us into who we're meant to be." He looked at Daniel, who stood in the crowd. "A friend told me that I'd spent my life building bridges to success but never built a bridge to my soul. This center is my attempt to build a different kind of bridge. One that connects hurting people to hope, struggling families to resources, and lost souls to the truth that they matter. That they're seen. That they're loved." Emma stepped forward. "Dad asked me to say something," she said, her voice shaking slightly. "6 months ago, I didn't want to be alive. I felt invisible, worthless. But then my dad almost died and something changed in him. He finally saw me. And more than that, he helped me see that I'm not invisible to God, even when I feel invisible to everyone else." She wiped her eyes. "This center is named after me, but it's really for every person who feels the way I felt. Every kid who thinks nobody would notice if they disappeared. Every person who needs someone to build a bridge to them when they can't build one themselves." The ceremony ended, and as people mingled, Marcus found Daniel. "I never properly thanked you," Marcus said. "You didn't just save my life that night. You showed me what life could be." Daniel shook his head. "I was just the instrument, Marcus. God was the one reaching for you. He's been reaching for you your whole life. You just finally reached back." Marcus looked at the construction site, at Emma talking animatedly with potential volunteers, at Sarah who'd come to support their daughter and had even smiled at him earlier. "I wasted so many years," he said quietly. "No," Daniel corrected him gently. "You were lost and now you're found. That's not waste, that's redemption. And your story's not over, Marcus. It's just beginning." As the sun set behind them, Marcus silently prayed, still new at it, still awkward but genuine. "Thank you for not giving up on me. Thank you for the storm that woke me up. Thank you for people who build bridges when we're drowning. Help me be that person for someone else." And in his heart, he felt something he hadn't felt in 20 years. Something warm and unmistakable. Peace. The old Marcus Webb had died in that river. But a new Marcus Webb was being born. One who understood that the most important bridges we build aren't made of steel and concrete, but of love, grace, and the courage to reach across the darkness toward the light. "For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish but have eternal life." John 3 verse 16. "Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, the new creation has come, the old has gone, the new is here." 2 Corinthians 5 verse 17.